In an earlier lecture, I presented risk diagram, which is just shown over here, and there I told that we will be considering diagrammic representation of material and heat balance. In that lecture, we have considered material balance, and as a result of material balance, we could arrive at the equation NOB plus O by Fex, where X is the type of oxide. For example, if it is Fe2O3, then O by Fe is 1.5. If it is Fe3O4, then it is 4 by 3, and so on. So, that is the way O by Fex. So, this equation we could obtain as a result of material balance only, and in the subsequent development of this lecture, I have shown that the same equation can be represented in the form of the diagram, and we have seen that, and we have solved some problem. Now, in a continuation of that lecture, what we would like to do today, we would like to develop heat balance of the blast furnace iron making. Then we will combine material and heat balance and try to represent the material and heat balance in the form of a diagram. So, as such, first of all, we have to see basics of heat balance, and for that purpose I am again considering a very simplified system. So, considering a simplified system, now with simplified system I mean that we are not considering say the iron ore in itself or coke or pig iron. What we are considering a simplified system, that is we are considering we are charging Fe2O3 plus carbon, this is our burden, and the product which we are considering in order to understand the basics of risk diagram when we incorporate heat balance into it. So, product we are considering to develop this equation liquid iron, pure liquid iron, and we are considering also top gas. So, in essence our consideration leads to the following heat balance diagram, that is a blast furnace. So, this is the hearth, this is the Bosch, this is the belly, though I am not telling this, my objective is not to tell you the design of the blast furnace, and this is what the stack region of the blast furnace. This is the stack. So, for our heat balance what we are considering, that on the top we are charging say Fe2O3 plus carbon, of which we already did material balance and arrived at an equation. The temperature we are considering 298 Kelvin, because for heat balance the temperature of heat input and heat output, they are important. So, the top gas is also discharging at 298 Kelvin and comprise of CO, CO2 and N2. Mind you, the top what we are considering as a simplified model, in actual practice top gas may go at 300 degrees Celsius or something of that sort. In reality, you do not charge pure iron oxide, you charge iron ore. So, after developing the simplified model, we can add the complexity so that we arrive at a actual blast furnace iron making. So, we are injecting air, and mind you, we are injecting air at 298 Kelvin, and we are discharging here iron liquid, and the temperature we are considering 1800 Kelvin. Mind you, we are not considering slag at the moment. That means, we are attempting to understand how the heat balance can be transformed in the form of a equation, and we will develop equations such that all these say input, for example, the gangue in the iron ore, it can be simply added to it, slag of the output can be simply added to it, and so on and so forth. So, this is the case, then the heat balance, or we can say enthalpy balance, it can be written in words, say enthalpy into furnace, enthalpy into furnace per mole of product iron. Remember, I am using per mole of product iron. It is not pig iron, it is product iron. So, later on when we add any element to iron, then we have to see that we have developed for 1000 kg product iron, that will be equal to enthalpy out again per mole of product iron. Now, say enthalpy into the furnace, for example, if you consider n moles of Fe2O3 into its heat of formation, that is H naught 298, this is for Fe2O3, that should be equal to H naught 1800 of iron liquid plus the gas consists of n moles of carbon monoxide into its enthalpy value not 298 plus NgCO2 into H naught 298, where NFe2O3, NgCO and NgCO2, they are per mole of product iron. So, now what we can do, say we can now bring all our terms which requires heat. So, in that process what will I do, say NFe2O3 into minus H naught 298 plus H naught 1800, mind you I am considering now the heat demand side, all where the heat is demanded for that, that will be equal to NgCO minus H naught 298 plus NgCO2 H naught 298. So, let me consider this equation is number 1 and this equation is number 2. Now, this side I am considering heat demand, and this side I am considering as heat supply. Now, set side correction here, it should be minus H naught 298. So, now I have to find out their values, the heat of decomposition, all these values. So, I am giving you certain values. So, H naught 298 Fe2O3, that is equal to heat of formation of Fe2O3, and that is minus 826,000 kilojoule per kg mole Fe2O3. Similarly, H naught 298 and similarly H naught 298, this is for CO2, this is for CO. So, for CO2 that is equal to minus 394,000, for CO it is minus 1,000 kilojoule per kg mole CO2 and here it is kilojoule per kg mole CO, and similarly we have to calculate H naught 1800 iron liquid. So, that will be equal to, in the thermochemistry lecture I had already told you how to calculate this thing. So, that value will be 73,000 kilojoule per kg mole iron. Mind you, it is plus. So, if you substitute this value, we will get an equation NFe2O3 into 826,000 plus 73,000, that is equal to NgCO 111,000 plus NgCO2 394,000, and let us make this equation number 3. Now, as you recall, I said that NgCO and NgCO2 they can be related to mole fraction, and that is equal to NgCO into XgCO, and this will be NgCO2 into XgCO2, that can be related with the active carbon. NaC is the active carbon 2 minus O by Cg, where NCA is the moles of active carbon per mole of iron or per kg mole of iron. Similarly, this will be NCA O by C G minus 1. O by C is the ratio of atomic oxygen to the moles of carbon. Now, we know that NFe2O3, that is equal to half. To produce 1 mole of iron, you need half mole of NFe2O3. So, if you substitute all these things, say by equation 3, 4 and 5, and noting, that means by equations 3, 4 and 5, and noting that if you want to produce 1 mole of iron, you need half mole of Fe2O3. If you substitute, then we will be getting an equation half into 826,000 plus 73,000, that is equal to NCA 283,000 O by C G minus 172,000, and this is our equation. Now, let me put it, this is equation number 4, this is equation number 5, and let us see, this is equation number 6. Now, what we have seen that this equation 6, in fact, it is the heat balance. Now, it is a very simplified approach. Simplified approach means we have not considered the gang part of it, we have not considered slack part of it. Now, if you see this particular equation, we note that this particular is the heat demand. This particular side is heat demand and this particular side is the heat supply. This particular side is heat supplied. Now, the heat demand is a variable. Suppose you are charging iron ore, then gang, slag is coming also out, then the heat demand is a variable, where heat supply is, if it is coming only from carbon, so it is more or less in the absence of any other heat supply, this is a sort of a constant value. So, we can put it D, which is the heat demand, which is a variable, that is equal to NCA 283,000 O by Cg minus 172,000. So, that is what our starting equation in order to now combine material and heat balance. Now, before I go, I will try to illustrate by taking an example. For example, the CO by CO2 ratio Let me take an example. Say CO by CO2 ratio in a top gas of a blast furnace which is charged with pure Fe2O3, that is equal to 1. When we are using pure Fe2O3 is a burden for blast furnace iron making. Say carbon supply rate, in this example carbon supply rate which includes carbon in pig iron equal to 5.8%, that is carbon for combustion and carbon for pig iron is also coming from this, and carbon supply rate is 500 kg per ton of product iron. Okay? This is what the problem. Now, we will not know what is the enthalpy supply. What is the enthalpy supply in kilojoule per kg mole of product iron. Assuming assumption number 1 that air blast it enters at 298 Kelvin and top gas it exits also at 298 Kelvin. This is our assumption. So, as per the previous equation I said that the enthalpy supply S, that is equal to NCA 283,000 O by C G minus 172,000, that was the equation. Now, from the CO-CO2 ratio we have to find out the value of O by C. Now, we know that XCO upon XCO2, that is equal to, already I have given this expression, 2 minus O by C G upon O by C G minus 1, and that is equal to 1. So, we can solve from here, it will come O by C G, that will come out to be equal to 1.5. Now, we would like to know only NCA. So, for NCA, that is equal to NCI minus C by Fe. You recall from my earlier lecture, that means active carbon is the total carbon, NCI is the total carbon supply per mole of iron, and C by Fe is the moles of carbon which is dissolved in iron. So, you can calculate. So, NCI that will be equal to 2.33, because NCI is simply 500 upon 1200 into 17.9, we take 1000 kg iron. So, 17.9 with the kg moles of iron, and C by Fe that will become minus 0.25, because carbon is 5%, and for 5% carbon you have 53 kg as carbon, because 1000 kg is the pure iron. So, 53 kg becomes the carbon in iron. So, 53 by 12 by 17.9 gives you 0.25. So, NCA that is equal to 2.08. So, if I substitute the value of O by C G and NCA into the supply equation, then enthalpy supply I can easily calculate enthalpy supply, that will come equal to 525,200 kilojoule per kg mole. Mind you, it is not pig iron, per kg mole of product iron, that is an important thing. Now, here I said that we can do certain modification. Now, what we have done, we have taken here pure iron as a product, right. Now, let us calculate heat demand now. Let us calculate now heat demand again in kilojoule per kg mole of iron, when condition A, we have pure Fe2O3 as earlier, supplied at 298 Kelvin, pure carbon again at 298 Kelvin, and liquid iron at 1800 Kelvin. So, we can calculate heat demand from the earlier equation, and the heat demand that will be equal to half 826. Half is coming because 1 mole of iron require half mole of Fe2O3 plus 73,000. So, this value is equal to 486,000 kilojoule per kg mole product iron. Now, let us take case B. Now, in the case B, what we are doing, let now iron contains 5% carbon. Iron contains now 5% carbon. Neglect heat of mixing. Neglect heat of mixing. Now, I am showing that how the simplified model can be tuned to the actual condition. Condition number 2, iron contains now 5% carbon, that is called pig iron. So, first of all we will calculate C by Fe, that is moles of iron in metal, that will be equal to again 53 divided by 12 into 17.9, and that is equal to 0.25 kg mole per kg mole of product iron. Per kg mole of iron. Now, what we have to add it over here in the heat demand side? We have calculated for pure iron. Now, since carbon is there, so we have to add into enthalpy of carbon. So, that way it becomes the enthalpy supply for iron 5% carbon. Rest conditions are same. Liquid iron 1800 Kelvin, Fe2O3 carbon, they are all at 298 Kelvin. All that we have to add enthalpy of carbon. So, enthalpy of carbon, that is equal to 23.5 T minus 11,800 again kilojoule per kg mole. So, I substitute T is equal to 1800 Kelvin and I calculate now. So, this value will be coming 7,625 kilojoule per kg mole carbon. So, enthalpy D, that will be equal to 493,625, because all that we have to add 7625 into 486,000. This is what I mean by modification. Now, still another modification, let us come closer to the what blast furnace is producing. Now, blast furnace is producing silicon and manganese also. Now, let us consider C part, say iron liquid, it contains 1% manganese and 1% silicon in addition to 5% carbon. That is what we are case C we are doing. We are simply modifying the case B, where we are telling the liquid iron it contains 1% manganese and 1% silicon. That is, we are now approaching to the actual case. Now, what we have to do here? First of all, we have to calculate Mn upon Fe. Now, again 1000 kg of product iron. So, Mn by, so manganese and silicon, that will become 10.75 kg. So, kg per mole you can calculate, that will be 0.011 kg mole Mn per mole of iron. Similarly, we have to calculate for silicon. So, silicon upon Fe, that will be equal to 0.021 kg mole per kg product iron. So, what we have to do now? On the heat demand side, in the case B we have added enthalpy for carbon. Now, in the case C we have to add enthalpy required for silicon, because it will raise from 298 to 1800 Kelvin, and enthalpy required to raise the temperature of manganese from 298 to 1800 Kelvin. So, enthalpy of manganese, we need, and we need enthalpy of silicon. On the liquid iron side, so that is given by 48.6 T minus 10,000 kilojoule per kg mole, and silicon 27.2 T plus 40,000. So, for our case the enthalpy of manganese, that is 852 kilojoule per kg mole of iron, and in this particular case it is 1868 kilojoule per kg mole iron. Now, this is not the total solution. Now, you have to think how silicon and manganese are coming. For that, iron ore must have SiO2 and MnO2. So, for SiO2 and MnO2, what you have to do? You have to add their heat of the composition of SiO2 and MnO2. So, that is what I mean by the modification. So, on the demand side, in addition to enthalpy of manganese and enthalpy of silicon, heat of decomposition of SiO2 and MnO2 has to be added, because otherwise silicon and manganese, from where they are coming? They are coming from the gangue part of the iron ore. So, delta S naught SiO2 and delta S naught MnO2, that is equal to minus 901,000 kilojoule per kg mole, and MnO2 is minus 518,478 kilojoule per kg mole. Say 0.021 kg mole of silicon will require 0.021 kg mole of SiO2. Similarly, manganese also. So, if you calculate all that you have to multiply by the kg mole of silicon equal to kg mole of SiO2 to this SiO2 quantity, MnO quantity, then we get heat demand. Then we get heat demand that is equal to 494,000 that we have calculated for case B, plus 852 for enthalpy of manganese, plus 1868 for enthalpy of silicon, plus 1892 required heat of decomposition for SiO2 reduction, and plus 5064 for MnO2 reduction to manganese. So, this will be total 521,305 kilojoule per kg mole of iron. So, that is what I mean, the addition of the terms and to come closer to the actual case. Remember, we started with the pure liquid iron, pure Fe2O3. Now, with this addition we have come closer to the what is happening in actual blast furnace iron making. We brought SiO2 of the gangue into picture, we brought MnO2 of the gangue part of the ore into the picture, we made now liquid iron, and we added silicon, manganese and carbon. So, that is what I mean to say that heat demand can always be updated according to the actual situation. Now, after understanding this, what we can do now? We can now modify, or we can now modify the material balance equation to incorporate heat balance equation also. Now, you know the material balance equation, you recall, material balance equation, that equation was NOB plus O by FeX, that is equal to NaC O by Cg. That was, let us say, equation number 7. Now, you know, say demand should be equal to supply. There should be no doubt on this. So, we know that demand D, that is equal to S, that is equal to NCA 283,000 O by Cg minus 172,000. Let us make this equation 8. Now, say by 7 and 8 we can write down the equation NOB plus, I am rearranging and writing in this particular form, plus O by Fe x minus d upon 283,000, that is equal to NCA 172,000 upon 283,000. Let us take equation number 9. Now, say if O by FEX, if O by FEX and D are specified, that means, if now for a given situation O by FEX and demand are specified, then equation 9, which is our model equation which represent combined material and heat balance, it has requires the specification of NOB and NCA. It required the specification of NOB and NCA. Either one, if you do it, then we can calculate the variable which we require to calculate. Say if NOB is specified, NCA can be calculated, or NCA can be specified, NOB can be calculated. If both are not specified, then we can proceed to the graphical solution, and let us see that. Before that, let me illustrate by taking a simple example. So, let us take for pure Fe2O3, we take a case which we are taking pure Fe2O3, iron liquid at 1800 Kelvin, NOB I am taking 1.41, then we can find out the coke requirement. So, we have to find out coke requirement. We have to find out coke requirement, and the case in question producing iron which is equal to 5% carbon. Iron it contains, rather let me put it, iron it contains 5% carbon, it is not a pure iron, it contains 5% carbon. So, let us calculate the amount of coke that will be required. Amount of coke required means you have to calculate the active carbon plus the carbon which is entering into pig iron, both, because the carbon source of carbon for both is the coke. So, if we do that, what we have to do? First of all, we calculate C by Fe, we have calculated in earlier cases. For the same, it is coming 0.25, then NCI, that is equal to C by FEM plus NCA. So, let us take it now and substitute the value, that is 1.41 plus 3 by 2 minus the demand for iron 5% carbon we already calculated, that is minus 494,000 upon 283,000, that is equal to NCA 172,000 upon 283,000. So, from here we can calculate easily NCA, that will be equal to 1.91, and we know the equation, that is NIC, that is the total carbon per mole of iron, that will be equal to 0.25 plus 1.91, that will be equal to 2.16. Therefore, carbon supply required will be 464 kg of input carbon per mole of product iron. That is what I wanted to illustrate, how to use this equation, and you have seen that how easily this equation can be updated according to the prevailing condition in blast furnace iron making. So, now since we have the equation in our hand, we can make use of the equation. We have transformed material and heat balance into the form of an equation. We can plot it now, and for a particular blast furnace operation, we can plot the curve and see that our operation follows that particular line or whatever we get after the plot. So, that is the advantage of this RISC diagram. So, let us see now, say graphical representation of combined heat and material balance, combined material and heat balance. Now, I will be writing down the equation in the form in which it can be plotted. Now, the way of plotting is same as it was done for material balance only. So, we can write down now the equation in the following way. Say O upon Fe x minus d upon 283,000 minus NOB, it is minus, that is equal to NCA 172,000 upon 283,000 minus 0. So, this equation now same as y 2 minus y 1, that is equal to m x 2 minus x 1. That means, if I plot y 2 minus y 1 against x 2 minus x 1, the slope of the line will give me the value of NCA. So, slope of the plot, say y 2 minus y 1 versus x 2 minus x 1, that will be equal to NCA, and from NCA I can determine the value of active carbon and all other variables. Now, let us see if we plot, say if those things are plotted on O by C and O by Fe axis, the slope of the line, naturally it is a straight line, the slope of the line will pass through the point O by C equal to 0 and O by Fe, that is equal to minus NOP, and O by C, that is equal to 0.61, which is the value of 172,000 upon 283,000, when O by Fe, that is equal to O by Fe x minus d upon 283,000. So, now let us plot it now. Say we know that for Fe2O3, when Fe2O3 is a part of the iron ore, that is iron oxide, then O by Fe is 1.5. O by Fe is 1.5. So, now if we plot it, so this is the plot, side is 0. I am plotting here O by Fe, and here I am putting O by C. Naturally, O by C equal to 1, that is CO, and CO2 is 2, O by C 2, and that is here say 0. This is O by Fe for Fe2O3, it is 1.5. So, there is certain important thing to note. Now, say demand is fixed for a particular raw material. Now, if we fix, for example, our D for pure Fe2O3, we have calculated 486,000 when we are charging pure Fe2O3 and pure liquid iron was the product. Now, into this let us add say some, though we have to calculate that value, but for the sake of illustration we can calculate some 100,000 kilojoule, that is the heat because of the gangue, a presence of gangue has to be fluxed, though we have to calculate the amount of slag that is produced and accordingly heat has to be supplied. So, for the present case I am just taking that 100,000 kilojoule per kg mole of iron is the amount of heat that is required to form a slag. So, my demand will be this equal to this one. So, O by C now, that is equal to 172,000 upon 283,000. So, this value is equal to 0.6. So, O by C was 0.61. Now, I have to find out O by Fe. Now, O by Fe, that is equal to O by Fe x minus d upon 283,000. So, O by Fe x is 1.5 minus 586,000 upon 283,000. So, this will be minus 0.57. So, let us take it now, this point somewhere here is let us say 0.61 and this side is plus and this side of course is minus. So, here somewhere let us take it 0.57. So, this becomes a fixed point for this particular blast furnace, which we have said it is charged with pure Fe2O3, liquid iron is produced, which is some heat value. So, for this operation of blast furnace iron making, this particular point which I will say A, and the point A, it has the coordinates 0.61 and minus 0.57. So, now what is to be done? We know about the value of NCA we have to know. So, NCA we can calculate, NCA that is equal to 600 upon 12 into 17.9, this is equal to 2.55. So, that means now the slope of the line which is passing through the point A, it should have slope equal to 2.55 because NCA is the slope of the line. So, if I do that, then so this is the slope of the line which is equal to 2.5 and this particular point if I say B, then B, the value of B that is equal to O by C G, which is the top gas analysis, correspond to O by Fe x, and this particular point is 0 and minus NOB, and the slope of the line which we have fixed by calculating NCA, since we are knowing NCA. So, this is equal to 2.55. That is how you will be representing the graphical representation. Now, in this particular problem, the value of B that accidentally it comes O by C G, if you plot properly. So, it will come equal to 1.42 and from this one can calculate XCO and XCO2. So, that will be around 58% and here it will be 42%. So, that is how what I mean to say, a graphical representation of the combined material and heat balance. All that it can be modified for the actual case, though I try to illustrate, but well, depending on the heat demand one can illustrate. And what is this particular diagram says is that for a particular operation this line is now available to you. Now, what we can suggest, we can make certain improvements. So, this point again I will show by the point A. So, now here I will give you some 1 or 2 exercises that you can solve yourself. So, I will give you the problem number 1. A blast furnace operator, he wishes to check his blast metering device. He is supplying air blast and is measuring the air blast by a certain device, and he is thought that there is some doubt. So, blast measuring device on the basis of gas analysis, because this value is known to him, and coke rate. he knows both the values. Now, what he wants, determine analytically oblique graphically, that means draw a line and determine the NOB value, the Nm cube of dry air. For the condition when the ore contains pure Fe2O3, hot metal, you have 5% carbon, amount is 1000 tons. Coke 88%, dry 88% carbon on dry basis and 700 tons the total requirement, although it is a very poor operation, but does not matter. Top gas composition, is a percent CO, volume percent upon percent CO2 is given to you 1.2. So, this is one particular problem you can try to calculate, and the answer volume that will be equal to 2.3 into 10 to the power 6 meter cube will be the answer. I will give you one more problem, so that you can practice it. Another problem that I will give you, the exit gas composition, from a Fe2O3 charge furnace is 24 volume percent CO, 22% volume percent of course CO2 and 54% nitrogen, all are on volume percent. So, the air blast is 1400 meter cube per 1000 kg iron. Hot metal contains 5% carbon. So, calculate A active carbon in kg per 1000 kg of product iron. B calculate total carbon. So, you know how to calculate the procedure already I have said. So, the answer would be the total carbon is 484 kg and active carbon is 431 kg. So, with this two problems and the risk diagram, I have finished, or I have covered sufficient, and I have given sufficient information on blast furnace iron making and its representation on the diagram. For the detailed, if you want to go, you can consult the book of say Davenport et al. On blast furnace iron making. You can also consult the book Ghosh and Chatterjee, Iron Making and Steel Making. So, with this I finish the lectures on reduction smelting as a unit process. In the next lecture we will see the next unit process, that is converting.